all them finna get shipped into prep school like that. It's gonna be pretty much based on what shoe companies still had their
Mm-hmm.
affiliations and whatever, and it's gonna take shape. And
Yeah.
here we are. And then what we didn't see was the NIL aspect of it opening up. We didn't
Right.
see that part coming. And so it
Right.
just opened up even more of a bigger can of worms, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a new landscape, and I like it because I just don't believe regular students, everyday Joe students, don't have that restriction. So what makes an athlete special that they have these restrictions as far as transfer? And we seen coaches. We watched off the top of my head. I watched 5 coaches take a new job less than 24 hours after they got eliminated from the tournament.
If not, I already had one before it.
Right. And what I'm saying, and to that point, that means if you take a new job 5 hours after you got 24 hours after the tournament, you had a job lined up.
Already.
You had a job lined up. You had that job lined up in February.
For
Already.
the most part. But they said February.
They did. You
February.
gotta
Like like
understand.
like Valentine's Day. Like
Man,
you're
those
right.
folks were doing interviews while conference play was wrapping up.
Right.
And that's the business now though. It's
It's
like
the business. Mm-hmm.
once the NIL aspect of this whole thing opened up, it's like, oh yeah, we finna get all this is finna be business as usual. You know what I'm saying? It's like I mentioned this on the previous show. What they don't think about is that all those years where they talk about the scholarship being 4 years, no, it can pretty much it's up for renegotiation after every year.
Hey, time out. Somebody got feedback or their TV is on.
Probably
It's
me.
probably Ham. I know what it is, and we can go ahead and start. But Ham, just turn your phone down because you're on the computer.
I had thought I had to turn it all the way down.
It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, I just looked at it. I was like, you son of a bitch.
You know what?
It's all right.
On this show, man, we do everything.
We do everything, and let's get into it, man. Y'all might have caught a little bit of the conversation with the changing landscape of college basketball, and that leads to the Final Four, where we have blue bloods, 8 Final Four teams. We're gonna preview the ladies and the fellas. 8 Final Four teams, guys. 7 number 1 seeds, and the only non-number 1 seed is a 2 seed.
That could have been a 1 seed.
That could have been a 1.
And that two seed out of all 8 teams probably has the most dynamic player who can flip this whole motherfucking thing upside down.
And they are the 2 seed who arguably, and that maybe not even arguably, is the bluest of blue bloods in college basketball when you talk about UConn women.
Yes. On the women's side, they are the ultimate blue blood.
So let's get right into it. We're going to start with the ladies. We're going to be gentlemen about this thing. Remember, 94 feet of life, basketball for the people, by the people. Ham is in the building. Trav is in the building. Facebook group. Join it. YouTube. Subscribe. Notifications on. First of all, and I saw this take on Ham's page. Man, tournament was boring. It wasn't. It wasn't no. It wasn't. One of Ham's faithful followers. I forgot the brother's name. I forgot his name. I wasn't doing.
Shout out to that cat. We actually snuck in to see the Lady Vols when we were freshmen at UT Chattanooga during the SEC tournament.
Shout out to them. But listen, we're gonna get to the men. 4 number 1 seeds, the first time since 2008, and we start with the ladies. 3 number 1s and a number 2. And here's what struck me about the women's game, y'all. And y'all tell me if this is what you think. You talk about physical. You talk about you better ice up. What Steve Smith say? Ice up, son.
Yes.
Ice up, daughter. And I look at the teams that's left: UCLA, UConn, South Carolina, Texas, and all four of them, in different ways, play with such physicality. Like and it's not dirty. It's not nothing like that. But they gonna put a body on you. All four teams. Trav, we'll start with you. Just kind of your opening thoughts on the women's Final Four.
You picked that. They all physical in their own way. Of course, Don coming with 9 folks, all dogs, all hungry, all wanting to play. Um, UCLA. UCLA remind me of that team that they remind me of that team that Jason Williams beat when he scored 19 straight against. Y'all remember that UCLA team? They were all like 6'6" and taller. They
Mm-hmm.
started 5, but Jay Will just went berserk on them. That's the women's version of UCLA right now. But again, physical. Texas is such a physical team. They run their offense inside the 3-point line.
Yeah, Texas old school. If you are one of these, man, they shoot too many threes. If you
Watch
one of
Texas.
them,
Watch Texas. You enjoy
Texas is
Texas.
you.
Texas got
Texas
Texas.
is for you. Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are 1994.
Mm-hmm.
Sterile.
Yes. Yes. I'm talking about everything is inside. I'm talking about curling, 15 feet and in, everything. Madison Booker just doing whatever she got to do to score. All on. They got 2 big nasties down low. They doing whatever they got to do. And Lord have mercy. Sarah Strong is the best freshman in the nation.
Yeah.
She's the best freshman in the nation. Her name fits her play.
Wrong.
Strong. And she got the nerve to have an outside game and will pop that tray ball in your grill.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you got Sister Paige and Odds Fudd. They snipers from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And they putting in work. But that Connecticut team, that's a real good team.
Yeah, it's a dangerous too. Ham. It's gonna be the theme on the men's side too. You can say whatever you want to about they won many upsets, but when we get to this stage, playing for all the marbles, you want to see the best teams playing. And for me, unfortunately, when Juju got hurt, we now have the 4 best teams. Because I think USC, even if USC gets past UConn somehow, I don't think they one of the 4 best teams. To me, the 4 best teams in the women's game right now, this is who's left.
That's who it is.
These 4.
Well, there's so many different avenues that you can take with this thing. It's damn near just as good as having 4 ones. For which we gonna touch on the men's side in just a few, but on this side of it, it's like I'm watching UCLA. On one end, it's like y'all better get this shit while Juju out. Because when she come back, it's what it is. It's up, as the young people say.
Yes.
So it's up when Juju get back. Now they play in South Carolina in the regular season, the next 2 seasons too, and they both November games too. They're looking for. I hope she be back for both of them, or at least for the one this coming, this next year. But like you just said, Trav, Don gonna throw 9 at you. Don's got a very dynamic player who she don't even start, and that's Malaysia.
Right, might be the best player on the
Right.
Yes.
And the thing with her is like I have fun watching her because it's like when she get to join the transition, it's like automatically just what I'm saying. It's just like pressure, pressure because she's putting pressure on everybody in the building, not just the defense. I'm talking about the folks in the stands. Watch everybody just they kind of holding their breath because you don't know what she's gonna do.
She gonna put it
But when
behind
she
her back just like Devin Jones.
right, but when she plays under control with it and she's still playing fast, but she's under control. Then she go behind the back with the sweet joy to just hit you with the floater like the one she pulled out Friday. You know what I'm saying? The same one that she always like to pull.
Don said you ain't gotta do all
She just
that.
she's like a different type of game changer. It's like I don't know if y'all remember this, but the '99 Michigan State team, Mo Pete did not start on that team. He came
Yeah,
on
sure
the bench.
did.
That's kind of a similar effect of what she gives the South Carolina team, and largely because of what these coaches have been acknowledging because they so fucking loaded. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like you can make that move that way, and it makes them just that much stronger. Then you got Texas. Rory Harmon has become one of my favorites.
You like she's
Stick
tough.
it up in your chest.
She's tough.
She me and Big Shot was laughing about this one last week when South Carolina was on. Big Shot was like, "Yo, Malaysia hoop with the homies." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just coming up, I was like, "Oh, anytime." All the time Malaysia hoop with the girls was in regulation play.
yeah. When it was
You know what I'm saying? And I really look at a lot of these ladies that's in the tournament that's like that, really, because that's just how they came up. But it's like some of them is like they were doing it when they were young, 5, 6, 7 years old, running with the fellas.
when you talk about Ham, you talk about Rory Harmon. Rory Harmon is again, if you want these old heads, what happened to the true point guard?
There you go.
There you go.
1994.
She is 1994 to 1998. She's one of them.
Pick
I'm
a
talking
year in
about
the 90s, in the
she
mid
gonna
to
hold.
early to mid
Hey,
90s in
was
Texas.
screen the play before crossing half court and all of it. Two, four low.
Rory is tough. And then you talk about Madden. Now, what I don't like about Texas, especially against a team like South Carolina, we talk about Texas, they start the offense inside the 3-point line, which I think fits what South Carolina does very well.
Defend.
And also, as great a player as Madison Booker is, and I think Madison Booker, purely as a scorer, is probably the second best. No, I probably say that's the third best pure scorer in college basketball behind Juju and Page. But they
Don't
put
she
up like
remind you? Don't she remind you of KD when you just see the
That's
35?
what
kind of
she.
It's like
No, that's her favorite
KD.
player. That's her favorite
she
player, and that's why
kind
she
of
went 35.
she kind of has the KD, but I think also because they put so much pressure on her to score because they don't shoot it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think against South Carolina, you cannot be one dimensional against South Carolina. I think if you do that, it's going to be a long night because South Carolina can play poorly, can shoot poorly.
And
But if
get
you
you.
watch the two games they had against Duke, I think the game before that was who did they play the game before that?
Maryland.
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 Yeah.
South Carolina's offense was iffy for both of those games. But you watched it, they just wear you out on the defensive end, where they just create turnover, bad shot. And then as Ham talked about, Fool Wiley gets it on the break, she's in transition. And that's why I think they'll beat Texas. Because I haven't seen anyone from Texas, Trav's old saying, two in the possible. I haven't seen the second person on Texas who I'm like, this person, this player, I know will step up if Madison Booker either gets doubled or just having one of them nights.
Yeah, because the win on Super Bowl Sunday, that was a very collective effort.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if it comes to that situation, which a lot of times it comes to that situation in these types of games, because just that time of year, it's championship, it's situational basketball. To quote our brother Mo Schefter on the football side, situational football is very important. And situational basketball in this
Very much.
area of the tournament is vital. Free throw shooting on men, women, wherever you at, you got to make your free throws. You got to out rebound people. You got to defend.
Right.
Just what it is.
Now, Trav, we go over to UCLA versus UConn. Obviously, we talk a lot about Sarah Strong and Sister Page and Fudd. But UCLA got maybe the surest 2 points in the game. And my question is simply for this. Does can UConn stop not necessarily the UCLA guards from scoring? Can they prevent UCLA guards from getting the ball to Lauren Betts cleanly? Because the two games that I saw her play 3 games this tournament. Once she go down there, set her 2 feet, and say this, it's done.
Done.
Big shot. What you're going to see in that game, you're going to see a lot of cross court passes. You know why? Because they're going to front her, and they're going to have somebody backside help. So
Mm-hmm.
that backside cross court or the high low action, UCLA has to work it to perfection. They have to in order to do that. Big shot. That guy 6'7". She put her hand up, just put it there.
Put it there.
She's gonna take one dribble, turn left shoulder, bank that right hand. Cause she ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere but that left side.
The historian in me wants to take you fellas back 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
That is Big Country Reeves.
Big Country Brian Reeves. That's exactly what
Yeah.
it
That
is.
is Big Country Reeves all day.
You know what? And like Big Country, you could say people can say whatever they want to about Big Country at the NBA. At this college level, he was so good. He could catch it
Yeah.
and turn without a lot of wasted time. And that's what one thing is Lauren Best does really well. When she catch it, it ain't a lot of wasted time after the catch. She catching and she turns. And she has really good touch with either hand off that glass.
Big
Now,
Country.
Which is like Big Country.
I'm
I'm
going
like,
to
no.
I'm gonna
I'm just
tell
sitting
y'all
there
something that
watching it.
I
I'm like,
see.
y'all know how I like to have fun with. I'm gonna make it the comparison dope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
yeah.
that's Big Country, yo, all day.
Yeah.
You know what
You
I'm
know
saying?
what? But what I did see, it was a game in that tournament. Who was that they played? It wasn't LSU. It was the game before. One
Ole
thing this
Miss,
team,
Ole
who
Miss, Ole Miss, Ole
Ole
Miss.
Miss.
you want to know what Ole Miss did? They ran track on them.
Yeah.
They had her. They had Miss Lauren Betts sitting there on the side and said, "I can't breathe."
Yeah.
You gonna front
So,
her, and you gotta push the skin off that ball. Even if off a miss or a make, push the skin off the ball. You cannot let. One thing about UCLA, they good defensively because they got that girl. They got that 6'7" Betts back there, and they pressing on everything. They pressuring up on everything because they want you to go and get blocked.
Right.
But if you take that ball off that rim, off a make or a miss, push the skin off that rock. She
And
gonna get tired.
and UConn is a team that can push it because they got everybody you can handle the ball. So anybody can take it off
including
the
the person that rebound the ball.
Right.
She's the number one person you really got to worry about.
And then when you talk about UConn, Sister Page, listen, there's always a player who you just kind of grow to like a little bit more. That's her.
Yeah.
She has really grown on me as a hooper. Number one, first of all, her game is so smooth.
Yeah.
It's so smooth. She got that, as they say, the aesthetically pleasing game. It's aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
And then you hear about her like off the court, the stuff that she did with her teammates for Ramadan and like. So I've never been a UConn fan, but I would not be upset if we sitting here next week like, man, UConn won another one. I wouldn't even be upset.
I'm be straight. That's who I'm picking to win it.
That's your pick to win it?
Mainly because of her. I'm going back another 20 years. They got Paige. Everybody else don't. If it come down to the cut, and then they got enough around Paige,
right,
to make that like, it'd be like Arizona coming out of that Final Four with all them ones and they the 4 seed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then they took down another 1 seed just to get to the Final Four. So they, the 3-1s deal with them, but at the same time, just that type of run. And then shout out to Gino, man. 30 years, this is due 24th trip to the Final Four.
That's crazy.
That man stayed. He just stayed there, dog. He just stayed there. Hey, reserve him a room.
The first one 30 years ago.
How many national titles have they won? 13?
11.
12, 11.
Shout out to my guy Darian Newsom. I was in the studio today. I went over there for a hot minute. I ended up staying for the whole hour. But he was like, how many coaches, especially that have programs like that, it's like, what great player did Gino have that didn't win while they was with Gino?
Now,
this is the thing.
Tina Charles.
Hey, this is the thing for Paige. Are you the one great player? The one great player,
right?
Who
That's
never
exactly
won a
why
title.
we brought it up.
I'm gonna tell you.
We thought of Paige, and we was like, I'm like, who else didn't do it?
Yeah.
And it took a minute, but then he came back after break. He was like Tina Charles and Renee Montgomery.
And
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even think of that. That's why I see it now.
That was what, late 2000s, early 2010s, maybe.
So I'm like,
right after Maya, and
yeah, that's a while ago.
Now you got to understand. The man had Stewie and won 4 straight.
That was right after Maya. That was between Maya and Stewie.
That's the thing. You got to understand. This man got 4 championship rings already. Like 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's incredible, man. So, Trav, who's your pick?
Dude. Oh my God. For some odd reason, man, I think Don finna pull a stunt. I think Don gonna pull. This probably gonna be if Don pulls this stunt off, this will be the first team. You can finally say Don know how to coach.
If you didn't say it already.
A lot of people, no, I'm saying this because a lot of people despise Dawn and says that because you know why? Dawn has always had a major bid in her program that wins championships. You look at Asia Wilson. You look at what's my girl name that's at Indiana right now?
Oh God. Yeah.
Boston.
Aaliyah Boston.
Aaliyah Boston, yes.
You look at Cardoza. She don't have one of those like that,
Yeah.
but she got a lot of scrappy.
It's very, very
She
important.
got 9 scrappy girls on her team that know how to go get it.
Right. Right.
She'll become one of those coaches that win with different styles of teams.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. And that's the thing. Dawn prefers a 6'7" anything, man. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. If Dawn got a foot on her team, which is we call footers in women 6'6", 6'7".
She's a point guard. She understands the value.
She understands the basics of having a big. She's gonna feed them to the well runs dry. She had one of them on her team. Believe me, she's going to run it. She's gonna win one with a foot.
Now, we're gonna get to the men's because we gotta get into that. But there are 3 big league stars in that portal for the women.
Ooh.
Latson from Florida State, the lead scorer in the nation.
Second is who?
Cody McMahon from Ohio State.
And 3.
And Frolivia.
Frolivia Miles.
Let me say this.
Frolivia.
I have no inside information. I don't know who gonna cut what check. So let me just say this now. But if I'm just looking at the landscape and I'm saying Ohio State was a 2nd round exit, Florida State was a 2nd round exit, Notre Dame loses in the Elite 8. If the idea, and again, I have no idea what the NIL money is looking like. That's for people higher on the pay scale. If any one of these 4 teams turns up next year with any one of them 3, boy, if someone like Latson turned up at South Carolina State on a South Carolina State team that needs a score, problem. If somebody like Olivia Miles turns up at, I don't know, Tennessee, with the way Tennessee likes to play, and you kind of let her have the ball, that high octane style, we pressing up and down the floor.
It's gonna be like JJ Redick after, man.
Listen,
dude.
Somebody like Cody McMahon on a team like Texas,
or
a team like Texas with
you get even stronger,
or Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm just gonna throw this women team. Let 2 of them go. Let 2 of them. You may have to get a big coat to go there, but go to Iowa State.
Hey, let me tell you something.
She said she ain't going nowhere, so you have to go to her.
Listen, I guess she not. Listen, if I was any team in the Elite 8 or the Sweet 16, young lady, we had to have it. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you.
Gotta have time.
Just hear me out. Now, let's get to the men's.
You turned into J. Anthony Brown on drumline.
Let me talk to you. Shout out Audi. Shout out Audi Crooks, man. Listen, let's get to the men. 2008, the last time we had 4 wins. That was Kansas, Memphis, UCLA. I'm blanking on one of them. Kansas, Memphis, UCLA. Who was the 4th?
Kansas played.
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Hansborough lost in them. We got the rematch, Auburn, Florida. And then we got the gang fight.
Hey, man.
Duke, Houston. So let's start with Auburn, Florida. I think, to me, fellas, this comes down to how healthy is Janai Brown.
Yeah.
If he is limited, as good as Auburn is, if he's limited, I can see a scenario where Florida runs them out of the building by about 15. If he's limited.
Shit, they beat them by double figures in Auburn with everybody healthy.
Where everybody healthy.
And so it's just one of them, man. It's like as Coach Les pointed out a couple weeks ago, big shot you reiterated, you know what I'm saying, in your post last week. Florida is a balanced breakfast.
Yep.
They got solid guard play. They bigs are athletic as hell. Everybody comes to play a little defense. They make their free throws.
Yeah. They're the best closing team.
And they got a
in the
big
league.
shot maker. It's like get that dude to rock with 2 minutes. He gonna get buckets, man.
The most important thing about Florida, like you said, you named the three things. They get timely freaking stops.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Timely stops. Wins championships, man. They win championships. 2 minutes and 37 seconds versus who was that they was playing? That was
They played Arkansas?
no, not
Nah.
Arkansas. Just to get into the
Oh, Texas Tech.
that was
Texas Tech.
Tech.
Texas
2
Tech.
minutes and 37 seconds. They made the most timely stops and went down on a 12-0 run.
Yeah. They make the stops. They got the interchangeable bigs. And then they got the best closer in college basketball.
And what's his name? Because I know I said it on here.
Walter Clayton Jr.
There you go.
The closer.
The
Has
close.
anybody been that more thorough in closing moments since Kemba?
It's Kimber like. It's Kimber like.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, and the one up he hit Saturday when he got the rebound, he went back in, he ducked back in, and stepped back out for the three, just turned around and tapped it. Just man.
Yeah. He is tremendous, man. Like I said, he's one of the four horsemen of the Final Four. I have no idea what it's going to be at the NBA level. That doesn't matter to me.
He gonna make some money playing some basketball.
He gonna make money playing somewhere. And he closes the show like nobody else. Where as Ham says, Trav says, the timely shot making. But he's gonna make. Not only is he gonna make the shot, he gonna make the right play. You can trust him with the ball. He's not gonna do nothing. Now Auburn,
you can't punk him out either.
Can't punk him out. He's tough with the dribble. And then you got Auburn, who got someone. Auburn got the three wildest dudes left in the tournament.
Wild cards, man.
We can start with my four horsemen, Representative Denver Jones.
Man.
Denver gonna do something wild. That's Sidney Dean. That's Sidney Dean from White Men Can't Jump. Denver gonna do something. He gonna go behind his back for no reason. It's a no-look pass for no reason. Wild card. You got the oldest man in the tournament. Literally. Chad with two last names.
Chad Baker.
Chad Baker Mascara. Lord, he gonna fall.
Theatrics.
That man older than Brandon Wheaton at Oklahoma State.
Not Brandon Wheaton, man.
Chad Mascara Baker really is a thin Dylan Brooks.
Really?
He's an agitator, but he's fearless. He
can ball though.
He can play. That's the thing. He can play.
And then they got the guy who might be the one guard left, who, if you say, who would you want going toe to toe with Walter Clayton Jr.?
You right. Yep.
It's Tashad Pettiford, the freshman. Ironically, we talk about all these older players. Tashad Pettiford, fearless,
He
shot
don't
maker,
care. He don't care.
Left.
got the floater, got the in between game. He got this. He got all the tricks. So I still like Florida just because I'm not sure. I just not sure how Janai Broome is going to be because he's banged up, elbow, shoulder, leg.
That is a walking MRI, man.
And then we got game 2. Respectfully, I call it a gang fight. The most efficient offense in the tournament versus the most efficient defense. Duke has been everything this tournament that I thought they were going to be. They have really, I ain't going to say they cruised through the tournament, but they have looked the part every game. They have controlled games. They controlled Alabama from the tip. And it's not just Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag has been tremendous. But you look at Tyrese Proctor, who has been lights out from the perimeter in the tournament. And then you got my guy, my four horseman representative for Duke, Big Malauk.
South Sudan.
South Sudan, 7-2. Now, Ham, you the historian, so we'll go to you. I'm definitely not saying he's like one of the best ever from Duke, because that's ludicrous. But Duke hasn't had a player like that I can remember in a long time.
Who, South Sudan?
No, yeah, like that 7-foot agile rim runner.
It ain't been one big shot.
I haven't seen Duke have like that one ever.
The closest that you probably can get to that was Mark Williams a couple of years ago on that Final Four team.
Probably so.
And he's more talented than Mark Williams, but Mark Williams is a starter in the NBA right now. So
yeah.
Granted, he played for Charlotte, but y'all know how we feel about it.
Big Sheldon could have been that. Big Sheldon could have been that, but
Sheldon was probably, you know what, Trav? That's a good call.
he
Sheldon's
could have. I ain't saying he could have.
Elton wasn't as long as these dudes are though. Elton was
Right.
a solid 6'8", but he was active on the block shots and on the glass.
No, not Elton, but Sheldon.
Sheldon Williams.
Sheldon
Williams. Big Sheldon.
He wasn't like these dudes.
That's what I'm
Sheldon
saying.
was
He
more like a
could have been.
traditional
Right.
back to the basket.
Yeah,
post
Sheldon could have been like that. Sheldon could have been. But this dude here is agile, mobile, hostile. He's all that. And he fits them because of his rim run, his screen and rim run ability.
Yeah.
High IQ player.
Yes.
Screen, rim run. He catches the ball in traffic.
Yeah, soft touch. He make his free throws.
He do what he do what he's supposed to do as a big man.
And then you look at. Go ahead.
It's interesting that, like, when you mentioned that Houston being the most efficient defense, they giving up right around, what's that? I think it was 38.2% field goal percentage on the opponent's side. Mm-hmm. Right behind them at 38.5 is Duke.
Yeah, Duke has been a great defensive team.
Yeah.
They did it.
All four of these teams, ain't nobody giving up over 41%.
They did Alabama so dirty though, man.
They
did Alabama bad.
They were the first team. That's the first team I've seen play Alabama straight up with no help.
No help.
Where everybody, and you know, Alabama's that's a driving kick, that's a perimeter-based team. Duke, everybody could stay in front of their man, so there was nothing open on the perimeter.
Yeah, Yeah, I know we talk about, well, I be talking about the bet side of the thing, especially with these squads. They like to score the rock, and as well as Houston, where they not giving up shit and they ain't gonna score too much themselves. Alabama was 85-90 a game all year. They didn't even score 70
No.
that day. Now I look at Saturday, and me and my guy Johnny Radio talked about this today. He said, "Dude, did you see the line is 135 and a half?" I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be muddy, but it's like I think if Duke can get to 70 first, it'll
65.
be okay."
If yeah, Duke if
65.
Duke if Duke could get to 65-70, they win the game.
65.
Because they can defend with these people. You know what I'm
And
saying? They can play in the mud too, and they got the best talent
they
overall.
have the best talent. Cooper Flag to me, because he could do so many things. It's not the fact that him scoring. He's a lot like a guy like who I'll compare him to. In a different form, like a Sean Marion. Scoring is not the best thing that you do,
Right,
but he
right.
can score.
He can score the rock though.
But he defends, he rebounds, he play makes.
Play big, right.
He can drive the ball. He does a lot of different things. It's gonna be really interesting to see because to me, you could turn him into either he's a big small forward in the NBA, or with the way the league plays now, as kind of an undersized four, he's a matchup problem at the four because he can handle the ball.
Cooper Flag fits this freaking game that's fixing to play right now because,
Yeah,
oh my God, Cooper Flag his game is ugly. But
yeah,
it's so ugly that it fits this style of play. It's grimy freaking buckets that, oh, I can just jump hook and the ball bounce out the back rim 3 times, then fall in. He scores like that against this team. They're gonna
he
make it tough, but he makes ugly, tough buckets.
he's not a finished product offensively.
Right.
Oh,
His
It's
offense game is
ugly.
not finished.
It's ugly right now. It's ugly.
but
Is
he can go. He can go get you 30.
Exactly. That's
right.
what it is. It's just
He gets you a tough 30.
Now the one who they really don't talk about is the other one. Talk about my guy Khan. Khan is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
shit.
nipple.
oh
Yeah,
he
he's
shoot
tough.
he hey
He
Tough.
just make the right. He just make the right play.
make the right play. Just play basketball.
He can shoot the cover off the rock. It's like, damn, I didn't really realize this dude could,
Yeah,
knock it down
he's
like that.
shooter.
But the fact that on both ends, he just makes winning basketball
Right.
play.
He reminds
Not
me.
necessarily over athletic or nothing like that. He just know how to play the game, man.
He reminds me. You don't want to be lazy complaining to another white player, but I think it's true. He reminds me a lot of and Ham and Trav remember Matt Harper.
I was thinking like a Matt Harper and Austin Crozier type,
Yeah,
something along those
yeah.
lines.
Like he's
He
kind of
built like
between
Matt
them.
Harper, though. He built like
Kind of
Matt
between
Harper.
them, but he's tough. He can guard a lot of different positions. He can shoot the hell out of it. I like
Mm-hmm.
him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of ugly, Houston. Houston, listen. I understand Tennessee is not the most dynamic offensive team. However, what they did to Tennessee that first half,
Ugly. 15,
Was in jail.
34 to 15 in the first half.
That 15 is the lowest of any half
The
for
lowest in
any Big
NCAA
Ten
history.
team ever.
and here was the cold part. Tennessee had to go score 10 points in the last 5 minutes to get to 15.
Get there.
They had five
They were
points.
stuck on 5 for the longest.
They was up 5 points for the first 15 minutes. Houston that is honestly, and here we go. Old heads. They don't play enough defense these days. It's too many threes. Da, da, da. Houston is your team. Trav and Ham from the Memphis Deep South area. If you like 40 minutes of hell, if you like people that's gonna guard you from the time you get off the bus,
to where you
that's Houston.
That's it. That's it.
If you grew up with your uncles drinking brown liquor and they listen to blues on Saturday,
Yeah.
that's the type of dudes that Houston got on their basketball team. They about that action. It's a different type of tough. They grimy with their defense. They play what I refer to as brown liquor and seven is R&B and blues defense.
They play.
It's rough.
It's rough.
But
They
you
got
got,
Like
but they got two guys on their team that know how to thump their guitar now.
yeah.
Let Crier and Sharp get open.
They keep some hoopers. They just got a no nonsense style of how they go about it.
They are a defense. They take on the mentality of their coach.
yeah.
Their
That's
team
tough.
takes on the mentality of their coach.
There's no
That mind is 60 what? 9?
old black man.
Just look at him.
What's fun,
He ain't
what's
playing,
fun
man.
about him is that the assistants that he got on his staff, yeah, I remember them when they was playing, they was real too, but it's like they ain't no different than the cats
Yeah.
that he
Hollis Price. Yeah,
Hollis
you
they got
got
Price
Hollis
the
Price.
same
score though.
they
Score.
coaching on the same type of dudes that they were as players. So it's like
They on the same time
The
though.
key for them,
what did they do? They went to the Final Four as well.
the key for Houston is going to be against Duke. Now, the one thing they cannot have against Duke, Houston's going to have to consist. They don't have to. It can't be a shootout,
Facts.
but it can't be. But they can't have dry spots.
Right.
You can't have it, like because if you have a dry spot on Duke, it can get away from you really quick. And even as great a defense as Houston is, your defense is only going to be against Duke. It only take you so far. You're going to have to score at some point.
Houston got two jobs that they have. Three. It's three things they have to do. They have to play tremendous good defense against Duke. That's number one. Number two, on offense, don't you shoot that ball if it's 20-some seconds on their clock.
Right.
Don't you do it.
Unless you are wide open.
Don't you do it.
Slow that pace down.
And three, limit Duke to one possession. One opportunity. This game better come. If for Houston to win, this game better come down to the last seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Either they got a chance to win it, or Duke got a chance to beat them. It got to be.
Yeah. If you Houston, you want the game close.
You got to have it close. You got to have it close.
So, fellas, when we reconvene for probably our NBA playoff preview, who we gonna be like, man, who's gonna cut down the nets? I think right now, as Ham has talked about the balanced breakfast, I haven't seen anything that tells me Florida doesn't win them. I think it's Florida, and the best shot of beating Florida is Duke.
I echo that. And I think if we get that, I'm going to knock on some wood. But I think we get one of the better title games in our lifetime if we get that matchup.
Yeah, a Florida Duke final would be something else.
I would enjoy that. Half of my bracket is still intact because of Auburn and Florida.
Shout out to the parlay.
Half of my bracket is still intact because of Auburn and Florida, because I got that side right. And from the jump, I picked Florida to win the national title, and I'm sticking to it because of Walter Mother Clayton Jr.
That's how it is. If Duke were to win this, outside of Kevin Ollie, did anybody follow that level of a legend with that type of success that quickly.
No.
No. Shaw's what? 3 years in it, right?
And Kevin Otter did it in 3.
Ollie did it in 3.
No, Kevin did it in 2.
No. Ollie did it in 3.
He did it in 2, I think.
For real?
Yeah, I
I,
think he was the
I
first.
will say this though. I'll say this, Ham, to your question. And Jim Calhoun is one of the greatest.
That's what I'm saying. But
Coach K is
different.
a different thing.
Yeah, it's different in this thing. I do
The
acknowledge
mystique.
because we talking about, well, really, to be fair, Connecticut was not Connecticut before Jim Calhoun either.
Yeah.
But Coach K or Duke just had the longer branding, I guess.
And also with Jean Shire, he's doing it in this era. And we know Duke has been one of the programs that has sometimes like we ain't adjusting to the new era. Duke was like, we ain't doing one and done. It was one of the last ones to do one and done. Duke was one of the schools like we don't really have dudes leave early. Shire has got into the Duke mystique, the Duke tradition, but he's blended in transfers. He's blended in this new era pretty well.
And he will be the only one to have won as a player and a coach.
That's right.
That's some cold shit. Another interesting stat that I was looking up, just a few differences because I got some Final Four trivia that I'm going to throw out a little later this week.
Absolutely. 94 Feet Life is a Facebook group. Follow J Ham on Facebook for the trivia.
Of all from 1985 to present day, of all the Final Four teams, the team with the second lowest free throw percentage of all of those teams from that time span, the 2007-2008 Memphis Tigers.
Get the hell out of here.
61% from the line.
Who had a lower one? Is that trivia?
I can pull this up real quick because this was fun as hell, y'all.
I'm just gonna take a guess and say Georgetown.
This was hilarious.
That's my guess too.
I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say Georgetown.
1998-99 Ohio State.
Really?
Here's what's wild about that. They got Michael Redd on the team. I'm like, okay, this is the school that pinned Michael Redd team. Michael Redd was fucking 61% from the
You know what? Michael Redd was good at the free throw line in the league. Now that I think about it,
straight till he got to the league. Well, his junior year, he got up to like 77. Then
but he would jank at the line. He would jank at the line in the league, though.
That's something I would have never guessed.
He get like 80% in the league though for a career. So
yeah, like, but it was certain games you'd be like,
I said, man, this man is 61%. What is that? And then nobody had the ball more than him, except Schooner Penn, probably. Which Schooner was cool, but everybody else was just like, I said, man, this is terrible, dog.
That out. I would have never guessed that.
Oh wow!
I would have never guessed.
I thought it was Georgetown.
I definitely thought it was Georgetown.
Oh, they won which Georgetown? You and them?
That's what I kind of thought.
80. Let's see, they made
85.
85.
84 and 85 with you and them. So we talking 85 going forward. So yeah, that would have been 85. They on the list.
You know what's crazy? You know what's funny? You talk about Georgetown?
Matter of fact, they're 6th. They're 6th on the list. They shoot at 64.7%.
What year?
That's the 84-85 Warriors.
You know what's wild about Georgetown? You know 85 was the last time they went to the Final Four?
Yeah. No.
86.
2007.
No.
Okay. The Big John era.
Yeah.
I'll correct myself. You're right.
Lil John went in 07.
That was Lil John.
That's what I'm saying. Lil John went in 07.
Yeah, that was JT3 in 07. Now, here's something that's even more funny. UConn from 0304, 62.3% for the year. They won it all.
Oh, I
And they
remember
are
that
fourth.
because
They are
Ben
fourth for the worst all time.
Ben
What,
Gordon was
over
the only
over them?
reliable shooter on that team. I remember that.
But they had like 12 dudes that went pro.
Yeah, that whole team went pro though. That whole team.
Shout out Josh Boone and Denham Brown and them
Right,
man. Listen, well, we gonna wrap it up right here. This was a fun episode. This was the full boat Final Four preview. So for the record, I am going UConn. Did I say UConn? I
Did you
did.
say UConn?
Now I gotta think. Did I say UConn?
You
Well,
might
here,
have.
my final pick: UConn for those ladies, Florida for the men. Trav, your final pick.
I got South Carolina for the women and Florida for the men.
Ham.
Since Juju ain't there, I'm going with UConn with the ladies. I'm staying chalk with the Gators, but I'm rooting like hell for John Shire to make history.
Mm. And there it is. Remember, subscribe to the YouTube, notifications on basketball for the people, by the people, 94 feet of life, signing out.